lighting in front of an LED wall can be kind of tricky. And part of the reason is this is an artificial environment. There's a black floor, black ceiling, black walls all around, and so light is not bouncing around like it would in a normal scene. Now, take this scene, for instance. We have David here reading a book. It's a living room scene, and if you were actually filming in a real living room, there would be all this light that's just bouncing around. We have the sun that's flying through in the window. It's bouncing against the walls in the back, but then it's not staying there, right? It's going to the sides, it's going behind the camera, it's going on the ceiling, and you have all this light enveloping you. Even if this was the only source, even if it was just the sun coming in, you have all this light flying in. So if you were in a real environment, you would have the benefit of all that additional light that's coming around unless you started blocking it off and flagging it off, which you probably wouldn't do. Now, we lit this scene with just a simple 600D, blasting at about 50%. And if you look at this image, you see that there's some issues with it. The first thing is you can kind of sense that key light. You can sense that there's an artificial light that's just hitting him really hard. And when we look at the values, we see this is super contrasty around his face. Although he's exposed properly on the highlight side, you're starting to have all this really hard, harsh fall off, and it starts to feel artificial. The background is not matching the foreground. So what we need to do is we need to raise ambient light. We need to reintroduce all this sunlight that would naturally be falling in through all the walls and the ceiling and make it look like it's natural and just flying all over the place. So how we do that is we have the 600D, or Nova 600, I'm sorry, that is going up into this 12 by. And so now it's hitting up into the 12 by, and it's kind of mimicking what the sun would do. The sun comes in, it bounces all over the place, and then it flies on the scene. And immediately the scene starts getting to be more just natural feeling, and just the light is just kind of just bouncing all over the place. This is just a 12 by with an ultra bounce. We also have it supplemented with some floppy flag ultra bounces that are positioned in different places. You could possibly just put a skirt around it if you wanted to and just make this a white box, but that's going to emulate real world. And now that we've done that, we can take this 600D and bring it down. And so instead of having it around the 50s, we can put it in the 20s, and that's going to be a lot better. So once we get back to the monitor, we can see that his face is now wrapped around so much better. We have a nice, looks like a real scene. The background is matching the foreground. The brightness is coming closer together. It's not feeling like it's two separate worlds. When you look at the false color, it's now falling off more gently, and it looks like it's natural.